Today, I finally went to a place that many assumed I lived at, my local art house theater. Hey there, Cinephiles. Today, I wanted to talk about my experience of going to the Enzian for the first time. For those of you that don't know, Enzian is the only Central Florida art house theater. Surprisingly, I've never been to it, but now I finally can check that off my bucket list, and I wasn't alone. I was joined by Malu. Malu is a good friend of mine who also has a channel on YouTube. She discusses film, fashion, showcases their plentiful short films, and much more. But anyways, it was both of our first times going to Enzian, and we decided to watch Bottoms. But before we get to our thoughts on the theater itself, I thought it'd be nice to share our thoughts on the movie. So without further ado, here's Malu's thoughts on Bottoms.
Hi guys, I'm Malu. I went to watch Bottoms with Jeremy at Enzian, and my Bottoms review is that I thought it was a very entertaining film. I thought it was really funny and the jokes were paced well, so it never felt like they dragged on for too long. I also think that the dialogue was very natural and the film was modern in a way that wasn't forced. We could tell that it was Gen Z and we could relate to it in that way, but it never felt forced. And I also think that it was Gen Z in a way that still allowed other generations to think it was funny because it wasn't very hard to understand at any point. The pacing of the film itself, sometimes it fell off. That was kind of towards the middle. It felt like the movie was gonna end, but then it didn't. So that could have maybe changed. And as Jeremy mentioned, it's probably just by adding a little weirder things would have helped that part. But otherwise, I really like the casting. I think that the actors really meshed well with their characters, so that was done really well, and also the costuming was done really well because it felt like they were really high schoolers, everything that they were wearing. And yeah, overall it was just a very entertaining film, and yeah, I would say that I give Bottoms at 4 out of 5 stars.
Thank you, Malu, for your review. Now here's mine. First things first, Emma Seligman is the blueprint and an inspiration. This is her second feature, and her talent behind the camera just shines through the whole movie. However, for as good as this still is her second movie, and you can notice that in some of the pitfalls. That's really just minor stuff like the focus, the 180, and some of the pacing. But besides that, for the most part, this is a great movie and one of my favorites of the year. Everyone on the cast is firing off on all cylinders and hitting their beats. My personal favorite character is the teacher, played by Marshawn Lynch, but everyone is so memorable in this. Even to that one girl who is just gutturally screaming, "Slay!" I just love that part. I give Bottoms a 4 out of 5 stars. If you haven't seen this yet, you totally should. It's another great comedy that shows comedies can still be made today. By the time this video is out, it should be on digital, so definitely check it out with friends. But alright, back to talking about the Enzian itself. Here are Malu's thoughts on the venue.
For my Enzian review, I really liked the space. I thought that the building was going to be bigger, but it's actually the screening theater that takes up most of the space there, which is interesting because it shows how much they put into the screening theater, and that's really the main point anyway. But yeah, and I really liked the seating too because it was like sofas and armchairs, which was really cozy the entire time when you were there watching the film. It felt almost like you were at home a little bit, but still have that experience of community in the film. And I also really like how you pick your own seats because it feels like the experience is more engaging. You just go there and you find the best spot, and you can try different spots, which is something I want to do. And I also like that they have different spaces outside that you can sit around and hang out, and they even have a bar there, which is nice because I think that sometimes with regular cinemas we can just go there, pick the seat, go sit and then leave. But this one, they actually give you the whole experience that you can hang out and talk about the movie after, which I really like, and I think adds to the community of it all.
Thank you, Malu, once again. I gotta echo some of their points. Enzian is definitely a cozy space. The furniture there is this mix between living room and office furniture, and the overall layout inside was nice and unique with its 3-tier structure. And as this theater doesn't have assigned seating, it's one of those places where it's first come, first serve. Me and Malu ended up sitting on the side, so I definitely want to go back and try to get one of the couches in the middle or something. Once the preview started, I noticed they did this really cool thing, and that's they made their own trailers for these movies. Yes, including the voiceover and all of it. And the reason they did this is because for some of these movies, they have photo ops before the showings. But my biggest takeaway from the trailers that they made themselves is that I definitely need to try and be a voiceover trailer guy. I just think it'd be fun. Another great thing about the Enzian is that they host film festivals, and the last 2 trailers that were shown were promoting their South Asian Film Festival. Quick side tangent, but one of the trailers for this festival actually included a movie about a guy who dies, reincarnates as a fly, and then goes on a vengeance tour to find the man that killed him. Truly bizarre, but what else do you expect from the guy who directed RRR? But anyways, Bottom started, and my only real complaint with the Enzian came to fruition, and that is that I don't love the quality of the projection. When we were watching it, I wasn't sure if it was the projection or the movie itself, but now having seen Bottoms a second time, it's definitely the projector at Enzian. But honestly, if we were watching an older movie, I don't think it would be as noticeable. Also, the sound was good, so the projection didn't bother me too much for too long, but hopefully they can upgrade their projector soon. As for the outside of the theater, it has the space to be a chill spot. It has this bar and grill where you can get some drinks and food. You can also get food inside the theater itself, and of course me and Malu got chicken tenders like the adults we are. I saw this one older guy who was just reading his book waiting for the movie to start, and then next to him was this family who just went there to get food. And after the movie, me and Malu hung out for a bit, enjoying the atmosphere and talking about the film. And it's nice not just having to be either right in front of the theater or in the parking lot talking about it. Overall, the vibe of Enzian is just really cool. I really want to go again and take advantage of the older movies that they show, as well as the Florida Film Festival that goes there. Shout out to Sebastian too, who actually promoted a movie for that, by the way. In general though, as great as it is to go out to the theater like big chains with Regal and AMC, guys, you gotta go out and support the art house theaters near you. You never know what gems you might find, especially if you want a chance to see some older films on the big screen again. But alright, those are me and Malu's thoughts on Enzian and Bottoms. Be sure to follow us on our socials and let me know your favorite local theater. And be sure to check out Malu's fantastic channel. Thank you once again, Malu, for joining. On there, we did a collaboration a couple months ago talking about some of our favorite and least favorite book to TV/film adaptations. And that was a really fun time, so check out that video too. But as always, thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Stay tuned for more Films content, and I'll catch you later.